Chapter 233. Fortunately, Du Gai was also very surprised. But he looked at the situation on the stage, sneered and said, "Although this little girl has some ability, this is only temporary. She only has the ability to dodge, and has no chance to fight back. She'll lose without a doubt if she can't last more than 15 rounds." Many people also understood that reasoning. Although it was very surprising that Yin Chujio could hold on for so long, the outcome could not be changed. She would still lose without a doubt. Yin Chujio avoided Su Yanran's attack as she said with a grin, "Su Yanran, you still dare to boast shamelessly that Spirit Radiance sect is only subpar. I see that your Heavenly Gates sect isn't that special either. Your spiritual power has almost been used up, right? A wise man submits to circumstances. Quickly, for the sake of our past friendship, as long as you kneel down and admit your mistake to me, I'll spare you." The crowd was angered by Yin Chujio's words. "You've said it the other way around. If you want to be spared, Su Yanran should be the one sparing you. Su Yanran would kneel down and beg for mercy? Not unless the sun rose from the north." Su Yanran had failed to defeat Yin Chujio after many rounds. She had long been impatient. When she heard Yin Chujio say that, she was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. She even stepped up her attacks. Unexpectedly, something unwarranted happened. Su Yanran stumbled and actually fell onto the stage with a bang. "Ah, that's right. Since you're so tactful, I'll give you something good." Yin Chujio pretended to take out a big bag of chili powder from her storage ring. She threw it at Su Yanran. Su Yanran just looked up. She thought it was a hidden weapon, so she could not dodge in time. She swung her wind blade. Boom! The chili powder inside got on Su Yanran's face. Cough! Cough! Achoo! Achoo! Su Yanran coughed so hard that her nose was full of snot. She looked as pathetic as she could be. How could Yin Chujio let go of such a good opportunity? She kicked Su Yanran off the stage. Then, she put her hands behind her back and imitated Su Yanran's previous arrogant look. The Heavenly Gates sect is only subpar. The crowd was silent at first, then they began to discuss. "Oh my god! Hurry up and pinch me. Yin Chujio actually won? Fuck. A good-for-nothing without spiritual power actually defeated a level 8 spirit cultivator? Why did that Su Yanran suddenly fall on the stage? Could it be that she really begged Yin Chujio for mercy? If you ask me, it must be that Su Yanran tripped, and that Yin Chujio took advantage of the situation. Oh right, what kind of poison do you think Yin Chujio threw? Why is that Su Yanran coughing so hard that she can't even breathe?" A disciple who was close to the arena looked at some of the powder floating down and said, "Chili powder. This is ordinary chili powder." Su Yanran was already embarrassed and angry, but when she heard the discussion of the crowd, she was so angry that she rolled her eyes and almost fainted. "Yin Chujio, I won't forgive you. Just you wait. Today is just an accident. If I hadn't accidentally fallen, your chili powder wouldn't have succeeded. There's still time in the future, and sooner or later, I'll have to take revenge for today's humiliation." Seeing that the outcome was already decided, Yin Chujio climbed down the ladder with a smile. Then, she shouted in the direction of Master Xianyuan. "Master Xianyuan, fortunately we didn't fail. Our Spirit Radiance sect has won." Master Xianyuan was feeling refreshed. He found Yin Chujio so pleasing to the eye. He nodded at her and then said to Du Gai, "Master Dugu, I'm really sorry. Our sect has the upper hand. Please fulfill your promise." Du Gai glared at Yin Chujio fiercely. Everything turned out like this because of this Yin Chujio. Detestable. She is really detestable. Chapter 234. "We admire you for being so greedy." Yin Chujio saw Du Gai glaring at her, and bared her little white teeth at him. "Master Du Gai, don't you think my performance isn't bad? Aren't you going to reward me?" Du Gai was so angry that his nose scrunched up. "Reward you? I wish I could slap you to death." Master Xianyuan laughed and said, "Master Du Gai, you're too polite. This gesture of yours is commendable, as is expected of a sect master. Yin Chujio, why don't you quickly thank Master Du Gai?" Yin Chujio said with a smile, "Master Dugu, thank you very much. You're indeed the sect master of the Heavenly Gates sect. Although you lost the competition, You're still rewarding me. You're really open-minded. You're so amiable and admirable. Du Gai was so angry that he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Xiangyuan and Yin Chujio. They were simply an old fox and a little fox. They really ate people without spitting out their bones. Not only did they lose 100,000 low-grade spirit stones to Spirit Radiance sect, but they actually wanted him to give Yin Chujio something. It was infuriating. Even though Du Gai was extremely unwilling, if he did not give her something, he would lose his reputation. Moreover, if this thing was not of a high enough grade, he would not be able to avoid being laughed at by others. Although you won by luck this time, I saw that you're still quite agile, so I'll give you this middle-grade spirit tool, the Scarlet Dawn Silk. However, you don't have any spirit energy, so I reckon you won't be able to use it. Du Gai could not help but say a few bitter words. Yin Chujio ran over eagerly and took the cloth. She said with a smile, "Thank you, sect leader Du Gai. Although I don't have any spirit energy, this piece of Scarlet Dawn silk is pretty. I'll tie it around my waist. It's very hot in the kitchen, so I'll be good to use it to wipe my sweat." Du Gai was so angry that he was twitching. That was a middle-grade spirit tool. And you're going to use it to wipe your sweat? Is your sweat that precious? Everyone was also dumbfounded. The only person who would use a middle-grade spirit tool to wipe their sweat was probably that idiot, Yin Chujio. What a reckless waste of a god's gift. Su Yanran was simply about to explode from anger. The sect leader had originally said that he would give the Scarlet Dawn silk to her after the competition ended. Who would have thought that he had to give it to this thick-skinned Yin Chujio? Yin Chujio, sooner or later, I will kill you. Yin Chujio did not care about what others thought. She tied the scarlet red silk on her belt. Alright, Yin Chujio's current image was truly unique. On the left side of her waist was a bright red silk cloth. On the right side of her waist was a rolling pin. And on her shoulder was a fire-breathing crow. Her aura could be described with one word. Awesome. She was about to obtain 10,000 spirit stones. And she had obtained another tool. She was in such a good mood. Master Xianyuan went up to the stage and spoke a few more pleasantries before the competition finally came to an end. Yin Chujio's reputation in Spirit Radiance sect soared once again. The outer sect disciples and servants felt that even though she did not have any spirit energy, she was agile, thick-skinned, and evil. It was best that they did not offend her. As for the inner sect disciples and true disciples, they did not take Yin Chujio to heart. No matter how powerful Yin Chujio was, she could not be compared to them. It was already good enough that she barely made it into the outer sect. That night, Su Yanran sent someone to look for Bai Moyu and his sister. The three of them had a confidential discussion. When the Bai siblings came out, they could not hide the joy on their faces. The next day, Du Gai left along with everyone else from Heavenly Gates sect. As soon as they left, Yin Chujio immediately went to look for Master Xianyuan. What for? Naturally, she was there to claim the 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. This was no joke. She had been having dreams and could not sleep well the night before. If she did not collect her wins, would she not have wasted a bag of chili powder for nothing? Master Xianyuan, I'm here to collect the spirit stones. Yin Chujio shouted happily as soon as she entered the meeting room. Master Xianyuan wanted to tease Yin Chujio, so he said, 10,000 spirit stones isn't light. You can't use the storage bag, so we'll keep it for you. Take 100 for now. Yin Chujio bared her white teeth. Master, you don't have to worry about that. I've thought about it. I brought my fourth brother. We can put it in his storage bag. However, if our sect is short of money, I can lend you the spirit stones. You can pay me 1,000 spirit stones a month as interest. I'm not greedy. She made everyone speechless yet again. They just wanted to say that Yin Chujio was such a money grubber that they just had to respect her. Chapter 235. The 5 elements were missing. Since you're prepared, then go and get the spirit stones with someone. The corner of Master Xuanyuan's eyes twitched. 1,000 spirit stones of interest per month. Why don't you go and rob instead? Alright. If you don't need it, then forget it. If someone else wanted to borrow from me, I would have charged 2,000. Once the ship sails, it'll be hard to come by again. Master Xianyuan waved his hand. I can't afford your spirit stones. Yin Chuzhou hopped around and decided to bring Yin Chuzi along with an elder to collect the 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. Yin Chuzi's storage bag could not hold all of it, so Yin Chuzhou asked Yin Chuzi to bring his own storage bag as well. After much difficulty, she finally stuffed the 10,000 spirit stones into the bags. Yin Chuzi was scared silly by so many sparkling spirit stones. My goodness, has the sect master gone mad? He actually rewarded little Jiao with so many spiritual stones. Yin Chuzi felt that he could not even roam the streets anymore. He was really scared to have such a huge amount of stones on him, afraid that he would be targeted by others. Fourth brother, give me that storage bag. We can't put our eggs in the same basket at the same time. Just in case. Yin Chuzhou said with a smile. Yin Chuzi felt that these two storage bags with the huge amounts of stones were like hot potatoes. Hearing Yin Chuzhou's words, he hurriedly handed the storage bag to Yin Chuzhou. Yin Chuzhou stuffed the storage bag into her bosom, but in fact, she stuffed it into her storage ring. Then, she hopped back to their respective dorms with Yin Chuzi. When Yin Chuzhou arrived at the dorms, she poured all the spirit stones on the floor of the house and cackled. I'm rich. Master, that's enough. The gigolo has given you more than this, but I've never seen you so happy. Little Black stared at her with his possessed eyes. He could not bear to look at her. How can it be the same? He gave it to me as if it was a master sending a servant girl away. I earned this myself. In the future, I'll earn a lot of money and raise a lot of gigolos. Cold, evil, abstinent. Yin Chuzhou sat in the pile of spirit stones and kept talking while counting her fingers. Just as Yin Chuzhou was talking happily, the door was blown to smithereens. When the little black bird saw the person standing outside, it felt that it was really a jinx. Every time its master got into trouble, it seemed to be the one who started the conversation. Master, just say it. Why didn't you say it in your mind? Why did you have to say it out loud? This was not its fault. It asked with its mind. Yin Chuzhou did not need to turn around to know that it was the gigolo. This gigolo was born to be at odds with the door. The 5 elements people usually lacked in were metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. While he was lacking the door, she acted as if nothing had happened. She turned around and smiled at Di Biming, whose face was ashen. Prince Charming, you're here? Are you angry? I did it on purpose. I knew you were outside, so I deliberately angered you. Who asked you to leave for such a long time? I'm going crazy being tortured by lovesickness. So what you said just now was crazy. Di Biming stared at Yin Chuzhou gloomily. Yin Chuzhou's heart was beating fast. She did not know how much the gigolo had heard. However, she pretended to be calm. Of course it's crazy. I only took 1 scoop of wine. With you, my Prince Charming. All the other men are eunuchs to me. They're all sissies. They're all just floating clouds. Where's that idiot in red? Di Biming remembered what the voice transmission talisman said, and he was furious. Who's the idiot in red? Yin Chuzhou really had no clue this time. It's that idiot in red that you mentioned in your voice transmission talisman. Black thing, you're really capable. I've only left for a short while, and you've already hooked up with another man. Do you take my words that lightly? Di Biming thought that Yin Chuzhou was playing dumb, and he was so angry that he gritted his teeth. Chapter 236. Whatever. Prince Charming. Are you talking about the red-clothed pervert? How can I like him? I wish I could skin him alive. Yin Chuzhou's face was filled with disgust when she thought of the red-clothed man. Then why did you say in the voice transmission talisman that the red-clothed man was pretty good-looking? Di Biming had been tormented by those words for the past few days. He could not hold it in anymore, and hurriedly made some arrangements. He came to find Yin Chuzhou to settle the score. I did say that, but I also said later that the man was a pervert. He wanted to kill me and take my skull. I almost died. If it wasn't for the jade pendant you gave me, I would have died long ago. Yin Chuzhou said with an aggrieved look. Di Biming was stunned for a moment before he instantly understood what had happened. He coughed dryly. Black thing. There's a limit to the length the voice transmission talisman can record. You can't record so much info on it. Yin Shujo cried out in shock. What? No wonder you only replied, I won't forgive you after I said so much. I thought you were feeling sorry for the jade pendant, because it had a crack. Beiming was in the wrong, and quickly changed the topic. That idiot in red wants your skull? Describe that person to me in detail. That person was dressed in red, and was extremely flashy. His spiritual power was very high, and he even held a skull in his hand. One look, and you could tell that he was a pervert. When he saw me, he said that my skull was good-looking, and insisted on killing me to get my skull. Fortunately, I was quick-witted. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't have been able to meet you, my Prince Charming. Yin Shujo said through gritted teeth. Beiming was stunned. So it was him. However, although he plays with a skull all day long, according to what I know, it was just a kind of evil fun to scare people. That skull was made of imitation materials, and wasn't a real skull. Regardless, there's no need for the black thing to know about this. Beiming's eyes flashed, and with a serious expression he said, I know that person. That person is famous for being a pervert. He specialized in collecting human skulls. Regardless of gender, age, as long as it was a skull that he liked, he would kill the person, and take the skull for him to play with. If you see him in the future, you must avoid him. Achoo! Achoo! Who is scolding me? I'm tired of living. It might be that stiff-faced Beiming again. Sooner or later, I'll kill him. Somewhere, the red-clothed man who was playing with the skull sneezed a few times. Seeing how serious Beiming was, Yin Shujo immediately said pitifully, Prince Charming, then give me something good to save my life. I don't want to die at such a young age. Beiming snorted, Give? I have plenty of good things, but you can only buy them if you want it. Beiming thought to himself. He could not let her be rich. Otherwise, she would actually want to have a gigolo by her side. That was preposterous. Prince Charming, how many spirit stones is the jade pendant you gave me worth? When Yin Shujo heard that she had to pay, her face immediately twitched. It's not expensive. It's only 5 million high-grade spirit stones. Beiming said lightly. How much? 5 million high-grade spirit stones? Yin Shujo could not believe her ears. Yin Shujo counted with her fingers. 1 high-grade spirit stone was equivalent to 100 middle-grade spirit stones, and 1 middle-grade spirit stone was equivalent to 100 lower-grade spirit stones. 5 million high-grade spirit stones be equivalent to 50 billion lower-grade spirit stones? Yin Shujo originally thought that she had quite a lot of spirit stones, but she was instantly shocked. Fuck! This bit of spirit stones of hers was not even worth a single cent. Beiming looked at Yin Shujo's shocked little face, and said with a smile, The voice transmission talisman I gave you costs 100,000 high-grade spirit stones each, and the concealment talisman costs 500,000 high-grade spirit stones each. Calculate how much money you owe me. Oh right, every time you eat a meal, a bowl of spiritual rice costs 10 high-grade spirit stones. Yin Shujo laughed dryly. Prince Charming, didn't you give those things to me? You're not thinking of asking me for money, are you? Yin Shujo made up her mind in her heart. She would not pay. She did not have the money, and was not willing to give her life. Whatever. Beiming looked deeply at Yin Shujo. Forget about the previous ones, but in the future, everything I give you, you have to use spirit stones to buy. If you don't have money, then write an IOU. Chapter 237. No way. Yin Shuji's face was filled with despair. Using spirit stones to buy it? Pretty you're heartless. You drank my blood. Why didn't you use spirit stones to buy it? Although Yin Shuji was fuming with anger, she did not dare to resist. She only glared fiercely at Little Black, who was trying hard to reduce its presence. Master, this isn't my fault. Who asked you to speak your mind with your mouth? Don't you know that trouble comes from your mouth? Little Black glared at her, and tried to explain. Then it flapped its short wings and slipped out. Yin Shuji's intestines were about to turn green with regret. Why did she have to speak her mind? This time, the gigolo turned hostile, and refused to acknowledge her. He actually wanted money from her. Was this not taking her life? Forget it. There was still time. She did not believe that she could not manage this gigolo. He wanted money. No way. Yes, no way at all. Prince Charming, have you finished your business? Yin Chujio said, as she put the spirit stones on the ground into her storage ring. Even a mosquito's leg was still meat. She did not want the gigolo to snatch it away. It's not finished yet. Di Baiming thought to himself. He had originally come to teach her a lesson, but he realized that he was being petty. How was he going to smooth things over? Idol, I know. Is it because you don't have enough blood? Yin Chujio saw Di Baiming stammering, and thought that he was too embarrassed to admit it. Di Baiming was worried that he did not have an excuse, so he quickly nodded. Yes, that's right. Bring the porcelain bottle, it'll drain some blood right away. Yin Chujio heard Di Baiming answer, and felt a little stifled. It turned out that it was really for her blood. No need, it'll just suck it directly. Di Baiming pricked Yin Chujio's finger with a silver needle, and then put it in his mouth. At first, Yin Chujio was still indignant in her heart. This damn gigolo is a vampire. He only knows how to drink my blood all day long. Even the cows know how to contribute milk after eating grass. How could you, after drinking my blood, still want my spirit stones? You're really heartless. Slowly, Yin Chujio's face turned red. Damn gigolo, what are you doing? You're clearly not sucking blood. Fuck. You're taking advantage of me. Yin Chujio fiercely pulled out her finger and glared at Di Baiming. Just drink enough. If you drink more, you'll die of exhaustion. Di Baiming saw that his little thoughts were exposed, and he said in a threatening tone, Black thing, you're getting bolder and bolder. You actually dare to glare at me. Glare? Prince Charming, you're mistaken. I was winking at you. Although Yin Chujio wanted to strangle Di Baiming in her heart, she still cowered. Di Baiming was speechless. Prince Charming, when are you leaving? Yin Chujio wanted Di Baiming to leave as soon as possible. She felt angry just looking at him. Di Baiming frowned. Why? Are you chasing me away? My Prince Charming, didn't you say that you haven't finished your business? I'm afraid that'll delay your work. We can't delay work for the sake of our relationship, can we? Yin Chujio said righteously. Di Baiming looked at Yin Chujio suspiciously and said indifferently, I'll leave tomorrow morning. Leave tomorrow? That's great. Yin Chujio suppressed her happiness and said with a bitter face, Although I can't bear to part with you, business is more important. My Prince Charming, it's time for dinner. Let's eat. Di Baiming's eyes flashed. He took out exquisite dishes from his storage ring and placed them on the table. Then he said, I can eat these. You prepare food for yourself. Of course, if you want to eat this, you can buy them with spirit stones. Chapter 238. Get lost. Yin Chujio secretly glanced at the dishes on the table. Damn it, the gigolo must have done this on purpose. Why did he put all my favorite dishes on the table? The steamed white dace fish meat looked tender and delicious. The braised pork ribs were brown in color, fragrant and glutinous. There was also the shrimp. Please make some space for me. I want to put my dishes on the table. Yin Chujio said to Di Baiming angrily. Di Baiming smiled. He moved his food and cleared half the table for Yin Chujio. Yin Chujio took out a plate of fried cabbage and a steamed bun from her storage ring pitifully. However, she mumbled, Humph. People should know how to maintain their health. They should eat well in the morning and afternoon, and eat less in the evening. Some people eat really greasy food so often. They're truly unafraid of indigestion. Di Baiming glanced at her, picked up a piece of fish, and slowly swallowed it. The fish today is not bad. It's sweet and tender, and it's also good for digestion. Yin Chujio took a bite of the steamed bun. Sigh. Some people should be careful not to get fish bones stuck in their throat. I heard that some people get choked to death by the fish bones. Di Baiming felt an inexplicable itch in his throat, so he picked up a piece of rib. This rib stew is soft and falls off the bone. It really melts in the mouth. Yin Chujio's saliva almost flowed out. The moment she looked at the rib, she saw that it looked very tasty. Moreover, it was the rib of a level 8 sword-bristled pig. Hence, the meat was extremely fresh and tender. She swallowed her saliva and said sourly, Humph. It's greasy, what's so good about it? Cabbage is still the best. Cabbage, the king of all vegetables. Black thing, do you want to try a piece? Di Baiming picked up a piece of rib and asked Yun Chujio with a smile. Humph. This young lady could not be corrupted by wealth and prestige, nor shaken by poverty. She had the might to not succumb to the dark side. And he wanted to buy her out with ribs? Ugh. Fine. I really want to eat it. What's wrong with that? Do you want payment for it? Yun Chujio swallowed her saliva and decided to fall to the dark side. This piece is a gift from me. I don't want money. Di Baiming smiled and placed the rib into Yun Chujio's bowl. Yun Chujio immediately thanked him with a smile and happily ate the pork ribs. Then she realized that she had been tricked. If she had not eaten the pork ribs, she would have thought that the stir-fried cabbage in front of her was still edible. However, after eating the pork ribs, she felt that the stir-fried cabbage in front of her was fucking pig's food. She could not even eat a single mouthful. What a sinister gigolo. Yun Chujio endured it and asked, Prince Charming, how much is this rib? Black thing, you know that this is the rib of an 8th grade sword-bristled boar. It's also made with various earth-grade spirit herbs, so it's naturally not cheap. Consider this a friendship price. 1 rib for 1 high-grade spirit stone. Di Baiming said indifferently. 1 high-grade spirit stone? Then would that not cost 10,000 lower-grade spirit stones? Fuck, gigolo, why don't you go rob someone instead? You black-hearted profiteer. Yun Chujio was a foodie and also a money grubber. Upon hearing the price, she immediately gave up on the idea of buying and continued to fiercely chew on the steamed bun. Seeing that Yun Chujio was not going to make a fuss, Di Baiming felt a little regretful. It seemed like the price was high, but he had already reduced the price to its lowest. He did not expect her to be so stingy. Forget it. Since you're donating blood to this venerable self, I'll give you a cheaper price. 1,000 low-grade spirit stones. 1,000? Too expensive. No. Yun Chujio continued to gnaw on the steamed bun fiercely. 100. If you don't want to buy it, then forget it. I will eat it myself. Di Baiming gritted his teeth. I'll buy it. I'll have this plate of ribs. Yun Chujio snatched the plate of ribs over. Don't play around. There's still some sauce on this. It would taste really good with rice. Don't take advantage of cheap steaks so easily, bastard. Chapter 239. You can't be fooled if you can't afford it, Prince Charming. How much is a bowl of rice? After Yun Chujio snatched the plate of ribs and set her eyes on Di Baiming's bowl of rice, Di Baiming felt that the black thing would definitely not be able to accept the original price of 10 high-grade spirit stones. So he said, originally, it's 10 high-grade spirit stones for a bowl. But I feel sorry for you. Forget it, I'll charge you 100 low-grade spirit stones for a bowl. Prince Charming, you're really too kind. Give me 3 bowls. Yun Chujio felt that pork ribs were really compatible with rice. Especially the spirit rice that Di Baiming brought. Every grain was full and translucent, filled with spirit energy. It tasted really great too. 3 bowls? Didn't someone say that one should eat less for dinner? Di Baiming raised his eyebrows. Yun Chujio laughed dryly. An ordinary person should be like that, but my body is still growing, so I need to eat well. Di Baiming looked at Yun Chujio's small body and nodded. That's right, you should take care of it. It's too boring. Yun Chujio was so angry that she almost smashed the plate on Di Baiming's face. Gigolo, do you know that it's easy to lose friends if you talk like that? Yun Chujio handed over the spirit stones and finally began to eat happily. In the end, she licked the plate clean. This was exchanged for spirit stones. A mouthful of soup was worth dozens of spirit stones. After eating, Yun Chujio felt a little regretful. 2,000 spirit stones were gone just like that. Fortunately, the gigolo did not come often. Otherwise, she would have spent all her spirit stones. Black thing, I might not come again. Don't you want to buy more food to eat later? Oh right, I have a lot of spiritual fruits here. Some are sweet and some are soft. After eating them, not only can I satisfy my appetite, but I can also increase my spiritual power and my lifespan. Black thing. I also have some pastries here. I have golden silk rolls, honey bean cakes, silver thread cakes, and the like that you like to eat. After Di Baiming presented Yun Chujio with all the food, the spirit stones in her storage ring were almost all gone. In the end, She owed Di Biming 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. Yin Chuzhou deeply understood one saying. Impulsiveness was the devil. Di Biming looked at the freshly baked promissory note in his hand, and the corners of his lips curled up. Black thing. Let's see what you're going to show off this time, and what you're going to use to hook up with a gigolo. Come here, help me massage my shoulder. Di Biming sat comfortably on the chair. Yin Chuzhou dawdled and said unwillingly, My idol, my waist and legs are a little sore, and my arm is cramping. Give me a minute. Di Biming glanced at her and said, 1 hour 1,000 spirit stones. Yin Chuzhia's waist and legs were no longer sore, and her arm was no longer cramping. She began to massage Di Biming's shoulder eagerly. Idol, is 1,000 spirit stones too low? Raise the price a little. Low. Forget it if you don't want to. Not low. It's not low. Yin Chuzhou felt that she was really miserable. Not only was her family fortune emptied, she was also in debt. How did she go from a rich woman to a poor woman in less than half a day? It was all because of the gigolo. If he did not seduce her with delicious food, would she have spent all the spiritual stones on impulse? She had to think of a way to earn the spirit stones back. An hour later, Yin Chuzhou said eagerly, Prince Charming, do you need to massage your legs? Do you need to massage your head? Do you need to wash your face? Do you need to make the bed? Do you need to take off your clothes? I offer a discount, and the service is very good. I guarantee that you'll be satisfied. Each item only costs 2,000 spirit stones. Only 2,000 spirit stones. You can choose any item you like, and it will cost you 2,000 spirit stones. You will not be at a loss for this 2,000 spirit stones. Chapter 240. Wailing Ghosts and Howling Wolves. Di Biming's face stiffened. He had a strong premonition that not only would he lose the 10,000 spirit stones he was owed, he would also have to fork our more spirit stones. Sure enough, Yin Chuzhou had come up with all sorts of tricks, and even came up with a way to sing. However, Di Biming expressed that he really could not appreciate Yin Chuzhia's singing that sounded like wailing ghosts and howling wolves. He decisively gave a negative evaluation. Not only did he not give her 2,000 spirit stones, but he even deducted 1,000 as compensation for mental damage. Yin Chuzhou was so angry that she almost vomited blood. What a crafty idiot. She sang and danced continuously. Was it easy for her? Moreover, how good was her horse riding and dancing? How could the song sound like the wailing and howling like a ghost? All right, you deduct 1,000 spirit stones from me. I'll think of a way to cheat you of 2,000. Yin Chuzhou pretended to massage Di Biming's leg for a while, then stretched out her little claws. 4,000 spirit stones. Thank you for your patronage. Di Biming frowned. Isn't it 2,000? 2,000 for one leg, 4,000 for 2 legs. Yin Chuzhou bared her little white teeth, smiling very proudly. Di Biming gritted his teeth. Very good, black thing. Just you wait. Let's remember this debt. Before going to bed, not only did Yin Chuzhou pay off her debt, she even earned 5,000 low-grade spirit stones. Yin Chuzhou pursed her lips happily. You want to play with me, gigolo? I'll play you to death. She thought about it again. This was not right. After a long time she figured it out. The spirit stones that the pretty boy had given her in the past had all been taken back. Damn it, the 5,000 spirit stones in her hand were originally hers, right? Such a sinister gigolo. The more Yin Chuzhou thought about it, the angrier she got. She pretended to close her eyes, stretched out her leg, and kicked Di Biming's butt. Di Biming did not expect Yin Chuzhou to do that. The poor Supreme Emperor was kicked off the bed. Although Di Biming did not fall to the ground the moment he landed, it was enough to make the proud Supreme Emperor fly into a rage. Black thing. Are you seeking death? Yin Chuzhou opened her eyes in a daze, and looked at Di Biming blankly. Prince Charming, why are you standing on the ground instead of sleeping on the bed? Why did you kick me? Di Biming returned to the bed, and asked while gritting his teeth. I dreamt that the red-robed pervert wanted to kill me, so I kicked him off the cliff. In actuality, I kicked you? I'm really sorry. Does it hurt? Let me help you massage it. Yin Chuzhou stretched out her claws, and went straight for Di Biming's buttocks. Beiming was shocked and quickly stopped her. Stop. A girl actually. How can you be like that? Yin Chujio pouted. Tisk. It's not a tiger's buttocks. Why can't I touch it? Don't bother, I'm going to sleep. Beiming wanted to scold her. But Yin Chujio had already turned around and fell asleep. Of course, Yin Chujio was pretending to be asleep. Humph. Gigolo, you still want to teach her a lesson? It scared him to death. However, the gigolo's figure was really good. It was a pity that with her small body, she could not do anything bad. Otherwise, she could steal the gigolo's genes and have a baby by herself in the future. Anyway, she did not plan to get married. Yes, she would give birth to a mini gigolo and scold him 8 times a day to get back the anger she had suffered from his father. No, that would be her biological son. She could not bear to do that. Yin Chujio danced with her thoughts and fell asleep soon after. The poor emperor looked at Yin Chujio's pink lips. At that moment, a thought kept flashing through his mind. Should he kiss her? Chapter 241. Was a good strike. Beiming remembered the slap he received after stealing a kiss. He felt a lingering fear and carefully bent down. Crack. Rumble. A purple lightning bolt fell from the sky and punched a big hole in the roof. Then one purple lightning bolt after another drilled into the hole and went straight for Yin Chujio, who was on the bed. Yin Chujio kicked Beiming off the bed. I'm about to advance. Stay away from me. Don't hurt yourself. The miserable emperor was kicked off the bed once again. He hated those purple lightning bolts to death in his heart. Why did you have to come when I was about to kiss the black thing? Damn it. That was the first time Beiming saw Yin Chujio absorb the power of lightning. He immediately felt that his worldview had been refreshed. Yin Chujio allowed the purple lightning to strike her body, but she still continued to provoke it. If you want to strike me, hurry up. I'm so sleepy. I'm still waiting to sleep. Did you guys not eat? You don't even have the strength to strike. By the way, what do you heavenly lightning usually eat? Oh right, I've always wanted to ask. What's the relationship between the purple lightning and the white one? Are you purple lightning bastards? The thick black cloud in the sky was so angry that it was about to burst into tears. It was too insulting to the lightning. It was too insulting to the clouds. You're the fucking bastard. They were a part of the righteous red lightning. Kill her. Kill this scourge. Kill this weirdo. Boom. 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 The higher-ups of Spirit Radiance sect were all shocked. Although there would occasionally be a few purple lightning bolts, in the past half a year, the purple heavenly lightning bolts seemed to be descending a little more frequently. Just what was going on? This time, it seemed to be even denser than the previous ones. From the looks of it, it seemed to be heading toward the Middle Peak's kitchen. Master Xianyuan and the other peak masters suddenly thought of Yin Chujio. Although they felt that it was a little ridiculous, for some reason, they felt that these heavenly purple lightning bolts were somehow related to Yin Chujio. However, even if these mighty figures had extremely high spiritual power, they were unwilling to get into the bad luck of involving themselves with the heavenly purple lightning bolts. Although they were curious, they were all prepared to go over and take a look after it had ended. Little Black flapped its short wings and flew in from the hole in the roof. Master, you've almost absorbed it. Give me a few bolts of lightning. Yin Chujio said with a smile. These lightning likes to be scolded. If you scold them a little more, they will strike you. Master, I'm the best at that. Watch carefully. Little Black held his waist with one wing and pointed at the sky with the other. Hey! Little loaches, if you have the guts, come and strike me. I look down on those who fight in groups. What the hell? You're ugly and purple. Look at how perfect my skin color is. The thick black clouds was so angry that a storm started. Boo-hoo. You're bullying the clouds too much. You're bullying the lightning too much. Where did these two weirdos come from? How can the heavens allow these two heaven-defying things to exist? I wanted to report them. These two scourges must be eliminated. The thick, dark clouds felt that its confidence had been dealt a blow, so it began venting its anger on Yin Chujio's house. If I can't kill you two scourges, I'll destroy your nest. The poor Supreme Emperor was originally just watching the show, But who would have thought that the thick, dark clouds would change its target just because of a disagreement? One after another, heavenly purple lightning began to strike the house densely. Beiming dodged left and right in a sorry state. Fortunately, his spiritual power was superb, and he had a defensive spiritual artifact on him. Although he was in a sorry state, he was still not injured. Yin Chujio watched from the side, feeling refreshed. Good strike. Wonderful strike. The gigolo was screaming. Chapter 242. Started flirting. The dark clouds struck Yin Chujio's house, and then floated away while trembling. Why was it trembling? It was angry. Yin Chujio and that ugly bird, just you wait. Next time, it'll definitely hack you to death. Yin Chujio saw Beiming's miserable appearance and laughed in her heart, but she did not dare to show it. She asked weakly, Prince Charming, this house is no longer livable. I'm going to go to my fifth sister's place. What about you? Beiming waved his sleeves, and his body immediately returned to normal. Even his hair became as dry as usual. Yin Chujio was so jealous that she gritted her teeth. There really was no justice in the world. It was one thing for him to be good-looking, but he was also a nouveau riche. On top of that, his spiritual power was so high. It really made people envious and jealous. The commotion here has already attracted the attention of the mighty figures of Spirit Radiance sect. They'll be leaving now. The matter will be settled very soon. I'll come back to see you when the time comes. Remember, if you run into that idiot in red, you must stay away from him. Beiming noticed that there were people approaching from afar, so he quickly said his piece. Okay, Prince Charming, don't worry. I'll definitely be obedient. You should leave quickly. Don't let anyone discover you. Yin Chujio could not wait for Beiming to leave quickly. Beiming still wanted to say something, but those people were getting closer and closer. He could only hug Yin Chujio, kiss her on the forehead, and then leave quickly. Yin Chujio did not expect Beiming to flirt with her so suddenly. She was instantly petrified. Fuck, aren't you ashamed? Gigolo, get back here. Did I agree to you kissing me? You big-tailed wolf. You actually took advantage of me. By the way, why is my heart beating so fast? Calm down. You have to be calm. Isn't it just a kiss on the forehead? What's the big deal? It wasn't a kiss on the mouth. When Master Xianyuan and the others arrived at Yin Chujio's courtyard, they saw that the house was in such a sorry state that it looked like a beehive with many holes on it. Yin Chujio stood there like a fool, and she even giggled shyly from time to time. It's over. Yin Chujio, this girl, has been struck dumb by lightning. Elder Chu stretched out his hand and waved it in front of Yin Chujio a few times. Yin Chujio seemed as though she did not see him, and was still in a daze. Sigh. With such a dense amount of heavenly lightning, it's already a blessing to be able to survive. Peak Master Yu sighed. He did not expect that the originally lively Yin Chujio would actually be struck by lightning to such a state. How pitiful. Yin Chuzi and the others also ran over. When Yin Chu saw Yin Chujio's stunned look, she immediately cried. Little Jiu, what happened to you? Don't scare me. Yin Chujio actually knew about Master Xianyuan and the others a long time ago. However, in order not to expose the fact that she had absorbed the power of lightning, she simply pretended to be scared. Now that she realized that Yin Chu and the others were scared, she pretended to suddenly snap back to reality and then burst into tears. Fifth sister. Sob, I'm scared to death. I was almost struck by lightning. I didn't do anything bad. So how could I be struck by lightning? Sob, I was really wronged. Yin Chu and the others quickly hugged Yin Chujio and comforted her. Yin Chujio sobbed and complained. Sob, I was sleeping well when the roof was suddenly struck by lightning. Fortunately, I ran fast, or else I would have been turned into a roasted chicken. Little girl, don't cry. You've escaped the lightning strikes over and over again, which means that you are a person with good fortune. As the saying goes, if you don't die in a great disaster, you'll definitely have good fortune in the future. Elder Chu babbled and comforted her. When Master Xianyuan heard Elder Chu's words, he could not help but feel uneasy. Yin Chujio had been struck by lightning over and over again. According to legends, Besides the 5 elements root spirit, there was also a type of thunder root spirit. Since she was so favored by the heavenly lightning, could it be because of the legendary thunder root spirit? Chapter 243. Could it be the thunder root spirit? Yun Chujio, you'll stay in another dormitory for the night. Tomorrow, the servants will come to repair the house. In addition, come to the meeting hall tomorrow morning. Although Master Xianyuan had some guesses in his heart, his expression remained the same. Yun Chujio thought that Master Xianyuan wanted to give her some consolation money after seeing that she was frightened, so she immediately agreed. After Master Xianyuan and the others left, Yun Chujio went to stay with Yin Chu for the night. Since she misses Master Xuanyuan's consolation money, Yun Chujio woke up early the next morning and went to the meeting hall. Yun Chujio entered the meeting hall and saw that there were many elders besides Master Xianyuan and the 5 peak masters. She was puzzled. Why are there so many people? Is there a need to make such a big fuss for a consolation payment? After Yun Chujio paid her respects, she asked with a smile, Master, do you think I was frightened last night and couldn't bear it? So you are prepared to give me some consolation payments? Everyone was almost angered by Yun Chujio's words. How narcissistic was she? What did being struck by lightning have to do with the sect? They were even expected to give her consolation money. It was already really good that they did not make her pay to repair the house. Master Xianyuan coughed dryly. Let's put the consolation money aside for now. I've called you here today because I suspect that you have a rare thunder root spirit and am preparing to test your root spirit again. Yun Chujio was shocked. Had she been discovered? That was probably not the case. However, this was also positive. She could find a catalyst and reveal a bit of what she could cultivate. At least she could use her storage bag and spirit beast bag openly. Yun Chujio pretended to be extremely excited. Master Xianyuan, why you mean I can cultivate? I am not trash. This is my suspicion. Don't be too excited for now. You can celebrate happy after the test results are out. Master Xianyuan was worried that Yun Chujio would not be able to bear the blow when the test results were out. Then let's test it. Hurry up. I already said that I won't be useless. I'm the personal disciple chosen by Patriarch Linghua. How can I be useless? Sai, it really fulfills the old saying that the heavens will bestow a great responsibility on a man. He must first work hard on his will, and work hard on his bones. Yun Chujio began to gloat with her small hands behind her back. Master Xianyuan rubbed his forehead. If the test results really showed the thunder root spirit, would this not mean Yun Chujio could gloat to the heavens? Usually, the test for a root spirit was done with a type of spiritual pillar. After a person placed their palm on it, they would judge the root spirit's attribute and talent level by its color and the level of the spirit cell. However, this type of spiritual pillar could not detect the thunder root spirit. Master Xianyuan took out a transparent ball from his storage ring and placed it on the table. Yun Chujio, place your palm on it. If you have the thunder root spirit, there'll be silver sparks inside. Master Xianyuan said to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio curiously placed her palm on it. There was no reaction from the spirit energy ball. The crowd began to discuss animatedly. Elder Shao said, Master, this thunder root spirit is extremely rare. I think Yun Chujio must have been happy for nothing. Elder Shao's words make sense. The last thunder root spirit in Qingxian continent was 100 years ago. It's extremely rare and not that easy to come across. An elder echoed. That's right, this thunder root spirit isn't like cabbages. We can't conclude that Yun Chujio has it just because she was almost struck by lightning a few times. There are many people who have been struck by lightning. Before this elder could finish his words, the spiritual energy ball started to change. The tranquility in the spiritual energy ball was broken. It was filled with small purple lightning bolts, crackling nonstop. Chapter 244. Born to be useful. Master Xianyuan and the others were dumbfounded. What was going on? If it was the thunder root spirit, it would normally be a silver spark. Why did Yun Chujio have a purple lightning bolts? Yun Chujio was entranced by it and giggled. This thing is quite fun. Master Xianyuan, please give this ball to me. It can be used as a candle at night to save money. Master Xianyuan coughed dryly. This is the sect's most important treasure. How can I just give it to you? Master Xianyuan quickly put away the test ball in consideration of Yin Chujia's bad habit of taking things. Master Xianyuan, am I really a thunder root spirit? Yin Chujio curled her lips. How stingy of him. This. Master Xianyuan could not figure it out. If he said yes, Yin Chujia's situation seemed to be different from other people's. Even if he said no, the test ball obviously had a reaction. Elder Chu reacted the quickest. He said, Yin Chujio, sit cross-legged and see if you can absorb the purple lightning element. Yin Chujio thought, of course I can. Your little ancestor Yin has a sea of purple elements in my dantian. If I told you about it, you'll be scared to death. Yin Chujio pretended to sit cross-legged. After a while, she pretended to be surprised and said, the purple elements has actually entered my body. Does this mean I can cultivate in the future? Master Xianyuan nodded. Since she could absorb thunder elements, it meant that Yin Chujio was indeed a thunder root spirit. As for why she was different from others, he could only slowly investigate. That's great. I told you that I was born to be useful. It turns out I have a rare thunder root spirit. My master has a sharp eye. Otherwise, why would he take me as his disciple? Sect Master, I'll definitely take care of Spirit Radiance sect in the future. I will hack whoever comes to cause trouble for us to death. Come one person, hack one person. Come a pair, hack a pair. Let's see who dares to bully our Spirit Radiance sect. Yin Chujio straightened her small body and began to talk incessantly, showing off. At the beginning, everyone was happy for her. After hearing the end, the corners of their mouths twitched. They really could not bear to listen anymore. This Yin Chujio was shining really brightly just because she had a little ray of sunlight on her. She was too cocky. Even if she has the thunder root spirit, it's hard for her to have any achievements. After all, Spirit Radiance sect isn't located in an area with frequent lightning strikes. And there are too few lightning elements. This path of leveling up is even more difficult. Elder Shao was the first to pour cold water on Yin Chujio. That's right. Our sect had a few thunder root spirits in the past. Although the methods of this lightning strike were indeed amazing, they all became ordinary in the end. They couldn't even reach the level of a spirit emperor. That's right. This thunder root spirit is famous, but in reality, it's not as good as other root spirits paired with good talent. Yin Chujio secretly curled her lips. HMPH, you're talking about an ordinary person. She had the strange grass in her dantian. With this divine weapon, it would be too easy for her to level up, right? Master Xianyuan, do you have any thunder root spirit cultivation techniques? Give me a few copies. Yin Chujio said with a grin. Master Xianyuan glared at her. Thunder root spirit cultivation technique is very rare. Our Spirit Radiance sect only has one copy of the Heavenly Thunder technique. It's stored on the 7th floor of the library. Why don't you make a copy of it? Yin Chujio thought to herself, Heavenly Thunder technique? The name sounded very corny. It was definitely not as good as the cultivation technique that the gigolo gave her. However, it was not bad to use as a cover. Yin Chujio, you can leave now. Go back and cultivate properly. We still have things to discuss. Master Xianyuan saw that Yin Chujio did not have anything else to say, so he waved his hand, indicating that she could leave. Yin Chujio rolled her eyes and said pitifully, Master Xianyuan, where is the compensation? Chapter 245. Heavenly Thunder Root Spirit. Everyone had fully understood one sentence from Yin Chujio. That she was more shameless than the most shameless person. Who agreed with you? Who agreed to give you the consolation money? Did you not feel guilty saying that yourself? Master Xuanyuan's face darkened slightly. Yin Chujio, when did I agree to give you the consolation money? Yin Chujio said with a twitch. Didn't you say to put aside the matter of the consolation money for now? Didn't you mean to put it aside for later? Did I misunderstand? Forget it, if you don't want to give it, then so be it. Anyway, you have a bigger say in this than I do, so I couldn't possibly argue. Master, you've ascended and are enjoying your life, leaving me, your poor disciple, alone. How pitiful. Not only was I struck by lightning, I'm so poor that I can't even afford to buy a bed. Master. Master Xianyuan was so angry that his face contorted. This Yin Chujio. What a little scoundrel. How was she crying for her master? She was clearly using Patriarch Linghua to pressure me. The corners of the other people's eyes twitched. In another 2 months or so, it would be time for the new disciple trial. If this person really managed to get into the top 10, would she not be courting death? Master Xianyuan rubbed his forehead. Don't cry. Get someone to follow you to the storeroom and collect 1,000 low-grade spirit stones. It'll be considered as the sex consolation money. Yin Chujio was still sobbing when the downpour suddenly turned cleared. She said with a smile, Master Xianyuan is too kind. Since you're so generous, then I'll thicken my skin and accept it. I'm really sorry. Everyone was so angry that they snorted. How could you be embarrassed? We've lived for hundreds of years, and this is the first time we've seen such a shameless person. Yin Chujio said goodbye to everyone with a smile. Then, she hopped and went to collect the spirit stones with the elder, who was in charge of the treasury. After Yin Chujio left, Master Xianyuan asked in a deep voice, Everyone, what do you think about Yin Chujio's purple thunder root spirit? Master, I've read about it in a book that has been passed down since ancient times. Although it isn't directed at the thunder root spirit, I think the idea behind it might be the same. The one who spoke was Elder Duanmu, who was in charge of the library. Master Xianyuan, and everyone immediately turned their gazes to Elder Duanmu. What records? It's recorded that in addition to the 5 types of root spirits, there are 3 other types in the world, namely wind, thunder, and ice. Each type of root spirit's talent is divided into 1 to 10 stars. If the talent is more than 10 stars, then it will appear in a completely different state. The records refer to these root spirits with innate talent above 10 stars as heavenly root spirits. Not only does the heavenly root spirit cultivate at an astonishing speed, but it often has other hidden talents, such as alchemy, talisman making, array formation, and so on. Everyone was stunned by Elder Duanmu's words. After a long while, an elder exclaimed, Could it be that Yin Chujio has the heavenly root spirit? Elder Duanmu nodded, and then shook his head. This heavenly root spirit is only a legendary existence. I'm only telling you what I know for everyone's reference. As for whether Yin Chujio has the heavenly lightning root spirit or not, I can't say for sure. Elder Chu said excitedly, It must be. Otherwise, why would Patriarch Linghua choose this little girl as his disciple? The rolling pin was not attracted to anyone else. Why did it choose Yin Chujio? Sect Master, Spirit Radiance Sect has picked up a treasure this time. Master Xianyuan and the others were also extremely excited, but Elder Duanmu sighed. Everyone, don't be happy too early. Although the heavenly root spirit has all sorts of benefits, it's because it's too outstanding. The heavens doesn't allow such a heaven-defying person to exist. This is also the reason why the heavenly root spirits has not appeared in the past tens of thousands of years. I surmise that the dense purple heavenly lightning that descended upon our sect was probably to kill Yin Chujio. Chapter 246. Supergrade Spirit Gathering Pill. Everyone thought of Yin Chujio's room that had been struck by the heavenly lightning. It was too terrifying to be targeted by it. Could the person that the heavens wanted to kill still live? The answer was obvious. Yin Chujio had been targeted by so many heavenly lightning before she could even cultivate. If she could cultivate, would she not be turned into ashes very soon? Master Xianyuan frowned. Yin Chujio didn't show any other talent. Maybe Yin Chujio doesn't have the heavenly lightning root spirit, but just an ordinary lightning root spirit. Elder Chi sighed and said, Master, Yin Chujio has other talents. She has a photographic memory. Elder Chu added, and she speaks eloquently. Didn't she fool those mighty elephants a few days ago? How could an ordinary person do that? Elder Xiao frowned. Yin Chujio is good at taking advantage of opportunities. Her victory over Su Yanran a few days ago is a typical example. I wonder if being sinister and cunning is considered talent. Master Xianyuan silently added in his heart. This fellow is also extremely greedy, and has cheated me of many things. Although what everyone is saying can be considered talent, it isn't too heaven-defying. Why don't we observe first? If she really has the heavenly root spirit, we will tell her the whole story, and let her decide whether to continue cultivating or not. Everyone, the matter of a heavenly root spirit is truly inconceivable. Everyone, please keep it a secret. Master Xianyuan said after thinking for a moment. Everyone did not have any other good ideas to handle it, so they nodded their heads in agreement. Yin Chujio did not know that she had already become the focus of attention. She took the spirit stones and ran to Elder Chi's spirit herb garden, continuing to collecting herbs. She was already at the 5th level of the spirit cultivator realm. She was prepared to get more goods, so that she could go to the alchemy room to refine spirit gathering pills. Yin Chujio borrowed a lot of spirit herbs from the outer area and extended her evil hand to the high-level spirit herb garden. Yin Chujio carefully took a few leaves and then stopped. Elder Chi was keeping a close watch on the spirit herbs there. It would be bad if she was discovered. The dormitory was still under construction, so she just happened to go to the alchemy room to stay for the night. Therefore, Yin Chujio went straight to the alchemy room with a big sack on her back. Manager Gao's head hurt a little when he saw Yin Chujio's appearance. Yin Chujio, why didn't you go to Elder Chi's place to help? Why did you come here instead? Manager Gao, I haven't refined pills for a long time, so my hands are a little itchy. Hurry up and give me an alchemy room. I'll finish this quickly and try to get out tomorrow morning. This time, I definitely won't release any poisonous smoke. Yin Chujio said with a smile. Manager Gao braced himself and gave Yin Chujio the jade token for room number 28. Yin Chujio happily took the jade token and rushed to the room. Did you hear? Yin Chujio came to refine pills again. What? Do you know when she will leave? I'll stay far away when that time comes. The poisonous smoke last time made my throat hurt for several days. Manager Gao said that shall be done by tomorrow morning. At that time, we'll just avoid her. Yes, you're right. I have to hurry up with my work. I will not stay in this damn place tomorrow morning no matter what. Yin Chujio entered alchemy room number 28. After opening the isolation array, she began to refine pills crazily. The first batch was successfully completed. Not only was there a 100% success rate, but they were all super-grade pills with pill patterns. After the strange grass in her dantian smelled the fragrance, it immediately began to complain about its hunger. Therefore, Yin Chujio swallowed a lot of spirit-gathering pills while refining pills. By midnight, Yin Chujio had already turned a few sacks of herbs into a super-grade spirit-gathering pills. Chapter 247. Am I that shameless? After a short nap, Yin Chujio got up and filled the alchemy furnace with a bunch of miscellaneous things again. This time, she was merciful and did not put any chili powder in. After the burnt smell was produced, she carried a sack of shredded cabbage out of the alchemy room. Why is there no one here? Where did all the people go? Yin Chujio shook her head inexplicably and ran out of the alchemy room with a big sack on her back. Manager Gao saw that Yin Chujio had gone far away and shouted loudly, "Cough! Cough! Come out! The smoke this time isn't too bad. Cough! Cough!" Hearing Manager Gao, the doors of the alchemy room opened one after another. Everyone lifted their noses and took a sniff. Sure enough, it was much better than the previous 2 times. It seemed that this Yin Chujio had improved. It had to be said that the efficiency at Spirit Radiance sect was not bad. When Yin Chujio returned to her dormitory, she saw that the house had already been repaired. That night, Yin Chujio mysteriously called Yin Chuzi and the others to her courtyard. "Little Jio, do you want to roast meat?" Yin Chula said casually. "Roasted meat is a must. After eating the roast meat, I have something good for you," Yin Chujio said with a smile. Yin Chuzi and the others were very curious. However, Yin Chujio kept them in suspense and did not say anything. It was not easy for them to finish the barbecued meat, so Yin Chujio went back to the house having said that she wanted to get something. "What's that smell? It smells like medicine." Yin Chuba sniffed curiously. "Yeah, It smells so good. What did little Joe hide in the house? Yin Chuki echoed. It smells like a spirit-gathering pill, but smells more potent than that. What exactly is it? Qingxi asked in confusion. Not long after, Yin Chujiu came out with a basin. La la la. The good stuff is here. Everyone please take a look. Yin Chujiu put the basin on the stone table with a bang. Yin Chuzi and the others could not wait to surround her. Then they were all dumbfounded. After a long while, Yin Chu said anxiously, Little Jiu, where did you get these pills? Did you steal them from Elder Qi? Quickly return them. There are so many pills. If they are discovered, Elder Qi will not forgive you. That's right, little Jiu. Before anyone finds out, quickly return them. Yin Chuzi advised from the side. Yin Chujiu pursed her lips. I really didn't steal it. Am I such a shameless person? Everyone silently said in their hearts, you are. You definitely are. Yin Chujiu saw that everyone was extremely worried, so she could only find an excuse. Do you see the patterns on the medicinal pills? These medicinal pills were all wasted spirit-gathering pills refined by Elder Qi. It would be a pity to throw them away, so I asked for them. I've double-checked. Although these pills aren't the best, 2 of them can still match the effect of one. Yin Chuzi and the others did not know that transcendent-grade pills existed at all. Seeing that there were indeed patterns on them, they believed her. Yin Chu even said, Little Jiu, you really didn't just take them? Tisk, fifth sister, how could I be so bold? Don't worry. These pills were obtained in a normal manner. However, Elder Qi didn't allow me to tell others. He was afraid that they would say that he was unjust, so you guys have to keep it a secret. Yin Chujiu said seriously. Yin Chuzi and the others nodded one after another. Only Qingxi thought about it thoroughly. Pills with patterns. Why do I feel like I've heard my mother mention this before? Why can't I remember what it is? Come forth, brother. Take this basin of spirit-gathering pills and distribute it to everyone every day. Just eat 2 before cultivating. Don't eat too many. Yin Chujiu handed the basin to Yin Chuzi. Chapter 248 was indeed worthy of being the skull that the young master had fancied Yin Chuzi, and the others were fooled by Yin Chujiu. As expected, they took 2 defunct spirit-gathering pills on time every day. In less than 10 days, 6 people actually broke through and advanced. Little Jiu, these 10 days of cultivation are comparable to a year of cultivation. This must be the effect of those defunct pills. Are you sure these are really defunct pills? The effect is too strong. Little Jiu, logically speaking, the spirit-gathering pills shouldn't have such a great effect. Are these really useless pills? That's right, little Jiu. You're not fooling us, right? Yin Chujiu said with a smile. That's because your cultivation has just reached a bottleneck. These pills are just icing on the cake. Of course I'm not fooling you. If I stole them, how could Elder Qi not find out about it even after such a long time? Yin Chuzi and the others thought about it. If Yin Chujiu really stole them, it would have been exposed by then. In order to prevent you from advancing too quickly and causing your foundation to be unstable, from today onward, you will take 1 pill instead of 2. Yin Chujiu did not expect that this super-grade spirit-gathering pill was so abnormal. If you advanced too quickly, it would inevitably attract the attention of others, so it was better to keep a low profile. Yin Chuzi and the others were now following Yin Chujiu's lead, so they naturally did not have any objections. Time flew by quickly. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. There was only half a month left before the new disciple test. During these 2 months, not only did Di Biming not visit, he did not even send a message through the voice transmission talisman. Although Yin Chujiu would occasionally feel frustrated, she quickly put it aside and did not take the initiative to use a voice transmission talisman to contact Di Biming. On one evening, Yin Chujiu had just returned from the spirit herb garden to her dormitory when Yin Chu and the others arrived with smiles on their faces. Yin Chujiu asked with some puzzlement, "Fifth sister, what is it that makes you so happy? Could it be that you guys have advanced again?" Yin Chu shook her head. "Silly girl, have you forgotten what day it is today?" "What day is it?" Yin Chujiu was so dumb that she could not react in time. Today is the 9th day of the 7th month. It's your 15th birthday. Look, didn't you say that there was something called a birthday cake? We made one according to your description. Do you like it? Yin Chu took a birthday cake out from her storage bag and placed it on the stone table. When Yin Chujio saw the so-called birthday cake, she could not help but laugh out loud. How's this a birthday cake? It's clearly just a few thin candles placed on the big fat cake. Happy birthday, little Gio. Little Gio, I wish you become more and more beautiful. Little Gio, I wish you happiness every day. Yin Chujio looked at the funny birthday cake and listened to everyone's blessings, but her eyes slowly turned red. Whether it was in her past life or this life, this was her first birthday. It felt good to have someone remember and care about her. For the warmth she was receiving, she had to protect the Yin family and the hard-won affection. Yin Chuzi and the others were well prepared. Apart from the food, there were also a few pots of spiritual wine. The group made a fuss for a while. It was already very late, so Yin Chuzi and the others left. After Yin Chujio sent Yin Chuzi and the others away, she sat beside the stone table and began to drink by herself. The two foodies, Little Black and the Silver Dragon, naturally would not let go of such an opportunity. They also began to drink. The three lords' pets drank happily. Yin Chujia's little face was red from drinking. With a hint of drunkenness, she chanted, "A pot of wine in the flower room, drinking alone without a blind date, raising a cup to look at the bright moon, and facing the shadow into three people." Oh, this little girl even knows how to recite poetry. As expected of the skull that the young master has taken a fancy to. A devilish voice came from midair. Chapter 249. Shui Wuji Yin Chujio looked up with her drunken eyes and saw two people descending from the sky. The person who spoke was the red-clothed pervert who had stolen the fruit of the witch hazel grass previously. If Yin Chujio was not drunk, she definitely would have ran away and shouted for help at the same time. However, at that moment, she was already about 70% drunk and was extraordinarily bold. Yin Chujio glanced at the red-clothed man. "So it's you, the medicine thief. Why didn't you go to the spirit herb garden to steal medicine? Why did you come to my place?" The red-clothed man looked at Yin Chujio with interest. "Little girl, you took my aging pill last time. Why aren't you dead yet? You're the one who's going to die. I haven't lived long enough. If you don't know how to speak, then get lost." Yin Chujio downed a cup of spirit wine and said fiercely. The man in red did not get angry. Instead he laughed. Interesting. Interesting. The last time someone spoke to me like this, how did I treat him? Hua Hua, tell this little girl. The corner of the man in black's eyes twitched violently. The name, Hua Hua, was the biggest stain in his life. Young master ordered someone to cut him dozens of times, spread honey all over his wounds, and then put him in the cave of the stone-eating ants. Yin Chujio nodded and said, "First, Hua Hua isn't a bad name at all. Your taste is very much in line with mine. Second, you're fucking wasteful. Wouldn't it be better to use the honey to eat? There are many ways to torture people, but you've actually wasted spiritual honey on this. What an idiot." The black-clothed man thought that this black girl must be tired of living. She had actually angered the young master several times. Previously, she was lucky enough to escape, but this time, she was dead for sure. The black-clothed man never expected that the red-clothed man would just sit on the stone bench. He took out a wine cup from his storage ring. "Little girl, come. Pour it. As the saying goes, it's hard to find a soulmate. You're the first person to praise my aesthetic standards." Yin Chujio was not pretentious. She filled the red-robed man's wine glass to the brim, and then said, "This name is just a code name. Naturally, it should be easy to remember. Just like my name, Yin Chujio. How easy it is to remember. One look, and you can tell that my name is Chujio." "Oh right, red-robed pervert, what's your name?" "Red-robed pervert." The black-robed man, scared that his knees almost buckled under him. Calling him the medicine thief was already bad enough. But now he actually called their young master a red-clothed pervert. This little girl was really seeking death by being cheeky. The black-clothed man felt that the young master was definitely going to make a move against her. Who would have thought that the red-clothed man would just smile devilishly and drink the spiritual wine in the glass in one gulp? Then he slowly said, Shue Wuji. Shue Wuji? Ha ha ha. Wuji. Doesn't Wuji mean black-bone chicken? Damn, I'm dying of laughter. Your name is so funny. Yun Chujio laughed so hard that she almost fell off the stone bench. Is it very funny? A cold light flashed in Shue Wuji's eyes. He clenched his fingers tightly, and there was a faint cracking sound. Obviously, he was extremely angry. Of course it's funny. You're actually a chicken. And a black chicken at that. Ha ha ha. Yun Chujio was already 80% drunk at that time, and did not notice the killing intent in Shue Wuji's eyes. The man in red looked at Yun Chujio, and seemed to have thought of something. A cold smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, but he did not make a move. Instead he smiled and said, the name is just a code name. There's nothing wrong with black chicken. If you like it, you can just call me that. Chapter 250. Brother Wuji the black-clothed man, Hua Hua, felt that his young master must have taken the wrong medicine. Usually, if someone had the slightest intention of disobeying him, the punishment would be severe. In the worst-case scenario, it would be death. However, the black girl had repeatedly insulted and provoked him that day, but the young master did not kill her, and even allowed her to call him a bloody chicken. If he had not taken the wrong medicine, then he must have gone mad. Yun Chujio listened to Shue Wuji's words, and sized him up a few times. You have a good temper. If only you weren't out for human skulls, then that would be better. Shadow Agent Hua Hua was almost angered to tears by Yun Chujio's words. Our young master has a good temper. Don't you feel guilty saying that? In the Tianyuan continent, who did not know that our young master was famous for being temperamental and reckless? Shue Wuji raised the cup in his hand, and moved his head closer to Yun Chujio. He said with a bit of charm, Little beauty, it's okay if you don't want to give up your skull. How about we make friends? Shadow Agent Hua Hua was almost scared to the ground. Young master, did you forget to bring your brain when you went out today? Make friends? Who would dare to make friends with you? With your temper showing at the slightest disagreement. Even if you had 100 lives, it wouldn't be enough for you to kill, okay? Yun Chujio looked at Shue Wuji's slender phoenix eyes and giggled foolishly. You're really quite good looking. However, I, Yun Chujio, am not easy to befriend. You have to provide me with spirit stones, buy me delicious food, and even give me spirit tools to play with when you're free. Can you bear to do all that? The corner of Shue Wuji's eyes twitched a few times. Then, he sat up straight as if nothing had happened. How difficult is that? As long as it's something that can be done with money, it's not a problem for me. However, I came out in a hurry this time, and didn't bring many spirit stones with me. I'll give it to you next time. Shadow Agent Hua Hua secretly pursed his lips. Young master, that's enough. Everyone knows you're famous for being stingy. You were generous with treating yourself, but when it came to others, you're stingy. Yun Chujio slammed the table. Are you fooling around? If you're not bringing the precious items with you, are you leaving them for others to steal? If you don't take out 10,000 low-grade spirit stones today, get lost from my sights. Shue Wuji narrowed his eyes and took a deep breath. He clenched his fist, and then loosened it. It was not easy for him to suppress the thought of slapping Yun Chujio. Then, he actually poured out a pile of shiny spirit stones from his storage ring. Yun Chujio saw the spirit stones, and her attitude immediately changed. Red-clothed. Brother Wuji. As the old saying goes, it's always a pleasure to have friends coming from afar. Your afterlife is filled with great fortune. It's my honor to be able to be friends with you. Come drink. Shadow Agent Hua Hua was dumbfounded. Fuck, what happened? How did this little girl suddenly change from a shrew to an innocent and charming little girl? Shue Wuji was stunned for a moment. Then he drank the wine in his glass in one gulp. Little Sister Jio is really a straightforward person. What's the point of drinking without eating? Come, I have some good wine and dishes here. Shue Wuji took out a plate of delicious dishes from his storage ring. Are you expecting payment for this? Yun Chujio was obviously afraid of debaiming, so she asked if he wanted money. Shui Wuji was stunned for a moment, and then said, "Of course I don't want money. You're really generous." Yin Chuzhou picked up her chopsticks and drank the food and wine one mouthful at a time. "Brother Wuji, come you eat too," Yin Chuzhou said with a smile. Shui Wuji picked up his chopsticks and casually ate a few mouthfuls. Then he watched Yin Chuzhou eat. His eyes revealed a trace of unnoticeable pride. Chapter 251. What's his relationship with you, little black? And the silver dragon also wanted to eat, but they were sent flying by Yin Chuzhou's slap. "Get lost. I haven't had enough. You're really in the way." Yin Chuzhou simply put little black into her spirit beast bag, and the silver dragon morphed into a rolling pin. "Brother Wuji, isn't there 2 little dishes? There should be 4 dishes and 1 soup." Yin Chuzhou blinked her eyes and said with a smile. Shui Wuji gritted his teeth and took out 3 dishes and 1 soup from his storage ring. Then, he picked up his chopsticks and began to eat quickly. However, his chopsticks did not even get a chance to touch the first dish. A glimmer of light flashed in Yin Chuzhou's eyes. As she ate, she muttered, "Brother Wuji, eat slowly. It won't be good if you accidentally choke to death." Shui Wuji was so angry that the veins on his forehead popped up. He took a deep breath and pointed at the first dish. "Little sister Jiu, eat more of this. This is snow clam meat. It's very good for girls. It's specifically beneficial for your appearance." Yin Chuzhou nodded. "Brother Wuji, you have some too. Although you're pretty, you're still a little worse off than me. If you eat more, you might be able to catch up with my beauty." The shadow agent had a look of disdain. "Damn it, little girl. Do you know what it means to know your own limits? You don't even have the complexion or TE figure. How can you be more beautiful than our young master? Are you that shameless?" Shui Wuji could see the bottom of the plate of snow clam meat, so he asked casually, "Little sister Jiu, how are you fine after taking the aging pill previously?" Yin Chuzhou looked a little confused, and then she answered with a straight face, Because I threw it up later." Shui Wuji raised his eyebrows and asked, "What's the relationship between you and Di Baiming?" Yin Chuzhou's eyes were a little dull, and she answered mechanically, "Di Baiming is my enemy. I want to kill him." Shui Wuji frowned and asked again, "Why did you 2 become enemies?" "Because he covets my beauty and wants to take advantage of me. I want to kill him. I must cut him into pieces." Yin Chuzhou became increasingly agitated as she spoke. Then she fell to the ground with a bang. Apparently, she had fainted from drunkenness. The corner of Shui Wuji's eyes twitched. He glanced at Yin Chuzhou, who was lying on the ground. Then, he raised his hand and put it down before saying to the black-clothed man behind him, "Go." Even though the black-clothed man had a stomach full of questions, he did not dare to question Shui Wuji's decision. He followed Shui Wuji and left. After the 2 of them left Spirit Radiance sect, Shui Wuji smiled sinisterly. "Huahua, why didn't you ask you why I didn't kill that 10 girl? I dare not. Young master naturally has his reasons for doing this." The black-clothed man proceeded to curse in his heart. Last time, he had said too much, and he almost made him commit suicide. How would he dare to ask more? TSK, how boring. If that expressionless man discovers that the little beauty he covets actually likes me, don't you think it would be very interesting? Shui Wuji took out a skull and started playing with it. "Young master, I don't think Di Baiming would fall for that tan girl, right? She's so tan and boring. Why would Di Baiming fall for her? Could it be that she's lying to us? She took the truth-telling pill. It's impossible for her to lie. No matter what the reason made Di Baiming interested in her, I must have that little beauty in my hands. She actually dared to call me black chicken. Little beauty. It'll make you regret coming into this world." The skull in Shui Wuji's hands turned into powder. The black-clothed man shivered. This time the young master was really angry. That tan girl was really too mean. Inform Jiao Jiao to withdraw. That expressionless man's subordinate spiritual power is too low. Don't try to overreach oneself. Yes. The black-robed man felt that his heart was calm. Compared to the name Jiao Jiao, Huahua was still acceptable. Chapter 252. Shui Wuji visited again, damn it. This red-clothed pervert is really hard to deal with. If it wasn't for my quick wit, I'm afraid I would have choked my farts. Yin Chujio opened her eyes. How could she still be drunk? Master, how did that red-clothed pervert know that we're related? The little black bird was released from the spirit beast pouch. How would I know? I'm afraid that there's a mole within the gigolo's ranks, or that someone is following him. However, he wants to trick me with that idiot chicken. It's simply a dream. I'll play him to death. Yin Chujio pouted and stood up. Master, since you're pretending to be drunk, why don't you just say that you have nothing to do with the gigolo? Little Black asked in confusion. Seeing that red-clothed pervert asked me that, I'm afraid he has some confidence about it. If I completely deny it, it'll make him suspicious. It's better to teeter between reality and a lie, so that he can't figure it out. Master, will he still come to find trouble with us? Of course he will come. However, since he didn't make a move just now, he must have other plans. When the time comes, I'll just have to counter his moves. I don't believe that I can't defeat that chicken. I'll skin him alive and make a small fortune. His poison is a great tonic for me. Yin Chujio yawned. She put the spirit stones into her storage ring, and went back to her room to sleep. Little Black looked at the mess on the stone table and said, Master, to put it nicely, you're open-minded. To put it bluntly, you're heartless. How can you fall asleep in this state? I'm so worried. A day after, Shui Wuji visited again when Yin Chujio was taking a walk in the yard. Little sister Jio, big brother is here to see you. Yin Chujio stepped back with a surprised look. You. So I wasn't dreaming that day. Did we really drink together? Shui Wuji sat on the stone bench, as if he was familiar with her, and smiled. Of course it's true. Didn't you say that you already considers me a friend? Yin Chujio said timidly. Then you won't kill me and take my skull, right? Of course not. We're friends now. Shui Wuji had some doubts in his heart, but when he saw Yin Chujio's reaction, he thought to himself, this little girl was so bold last time. It seemed that she was truly drunk, so her words must be undoubtedly true. When Yin Chujio heard Shui Wuji's words, she immediately jumped over. Brother Wuji, since you're really befriending me, are you here to send me spirit stones and delicious food again? Shui Wuji gritted his teeth. Didn't I already give you 10,000 spirit stones last time? Yin Chujio pouted. Brother Wuji, I originally thought that you were much stronger than Di Baiming. I didn't expect you to be so stingy. You're really disappointing me. That expressionless man gave you spirit stones? How much did he give you? Since he coveted my beauty, he naturally had to curry favor with me. Not only did he give me spirit stones, he gave me a lot of delicious food too. For example, steamed white dace fish, braised sword-bristled pork ribs, shrimp and pastries. He has always been very generous to me. However, I don't like his expressionless face. Otherwise, I would have listened to him. Yin Chujio sat on the stone bench, crossed her legs and said, when Shui Wuji heard the names of these dishes, it was really not something that the people of Qingxian continent could make up. It seemed that Di Baiming, that expressionless guy, had really invested a lot in this little girl. How could he be inferior to him? Little sister Jio, you did the right thing. I'm telling you, that man is gay. It doesn't mean he fancies you just because he's being nice. He definitely has some unspeakable intentions toward you. It's just spirit stones and delicious food, right? I have plenty of them. In the future, feel free to ask me for them. Chapter 253. I'll play you to death, Brother Wuji. Do you know Di Baiming? Yin Chujio almost burst out laughing. If the gigolo knew that someone said he was gay, he would probably be so angry that he would hit his head against the wall. Of course I recognize that inexpressive man. Keep these spirit stones. If you run out of flowers, ask me for more. Shui Wuji changed the topic without batting an eyelid. Yin Chujio looked at the pile of shiny spirit stones on the ground and said with a smile, Brother Wuji, the storage bags given out by my sect are too small. Can you give me a few storage bags? Yin Chujio took out the storage bag given by the sect and said with a look of disdain. Shui Wuji's eyes flashed. Little sister Jio, I see that you don't have any spiritual power. How do you use the storage bag? Yin Chujio said mysteriously. Brother Wuji, I'll let you in on this secret. Actually, I have the thunder root spirit so I can cultivate. As for why others can't tell the presence or level of my spiritual power, it's because I obtained a spirit concealing pill and can hide my spiritual power after consuming it. Thunder spirit root? It's a very rare spiritual root. Does that expressionless debeiming know about this? Shui Wuji was very surprised even though he had already guessed that Yin Chujio had spirit energy. After all, without spirit energy, it was impossible for an immortal item to recognize her as its owner. However, her having the thunder root spirit was a little surprising. I can't be bothered to tell him, but he should have partly figured it out by now. Yin Chujio said disdainfully. Yin Chujio's disdainful expression pleased Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji took out a small ring from the storage ring and handed it to Yin Chujio. Little sister Jio, take this storage ring. This one is worth hundreds of storage bags. Shadow Agent Huahua rubbed his eyes and scratched his ears. My God, young master. Are you crazy or stupid? That was a storage ring with its own hidden attribute. How many people were there in the Tianyuan continent who could not even buy a high-grade spirit tool even if they were rich? And you're giving it to this tan girl just like that. Are you still the stingy young master that I know? Brother Wuji, this storage ring is too valuable. What if someone tries stealing it? It's better for you to give me a few storage bags. Although Yin Chujio said so, she clenched the storage ring tightly and had no intention of returning it to Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji naturally picked up on Yin Chujio's minor actions. Not only was he not disgusted, he even felt like he had found a kindred spirit. Little sister Jio, you don't have to worry about this. As long as you refine the ring, it can be hidden as you wish. Really? It's so magical. Brother Wuji, you're really too generous. Yin Chujio pretended to be a country bumpkin who had never seen the world before. But in fact, she was extremely happy in her heart. Little fellow, do you think you can fool me? I'll play you to death. Of course. Although this storage ring is worth millions of high-grade spirit stones, our friendship is priceless. In the future, if that expressionless man comes back, I'll help you deal with him. Yin Chujio nodded repeatedly. The two of them chatted for a while, and then Shui Wuji left with Shadow Agent Huahua. Huahua, what do you think of that little girl? Young master, I think that little girl is very greedy. She's also very impulsive. I can't see any other characteristics aside from that. You're right. I have the best experience in dealing with these type of people. All I need to do is spin some spirit stones and give her some good food. Young master, since this little girl is so easy to deal with, why didn't debeiming take her down? Besides, with debeiming's spiritual power, it's really easy to subdue her, so why let her rebel? Tsk. Huahua, you don't even know. Debeiming, that inexpressive man, can't even speak. How could he make a young girl like him? As for why he didn't make a move, I'm afraid he just wanted to have some fun. After all, getting a person's heart is more challenging than anything else. Shadow Agent Huahua was speechless. Young master, is being so narcissistic good for you? According to what I know, there are more women who like debeiming in the Tianyuan continent than people like you. Someone who acts recklessly. Chapter 254. The lightning did not come with good intentions this time. Young master, although you want to bribe that little girl, you wouldn't go so far as to give her such a valuable storage ring, would you? Shadow Agent Huahua could not resist and asked courageously. Shui Wuji sneered a few times. After I'm done using that little girl, I'll kill her. At that time, that storage ring will be mine again. Everything in there will also be mine. How can I invest in a business that will not bring me benefit? Shadow Agent Huahua was enlightened. Young master is really wise. Shui Wuji laughed arrogantly. She's just a little girl, so I can easily toy with her. I'm not like that debeiming. He can't even deal with a little girl after such a long time. What a waste. Shadow Agent Huahua nodded repeatedly, but there was a strange feeling in his heart. Could that little girl really be that simple? How can our young master handle someone so easily when even debeiming couldn't? At the same time, Yin Chujio was refining the storage ring. After a while, she began to show off happily. Little black little flame. Am I that good at deceiving people? That Wuji still wants to use me to deal with the gigolo. PFTT. With his coquettish appearance, he's not even as pleasing to the eye as a gigolo. He wants to use me? I'll play him to death. Master, that red-clothed pervert doesn't look like he's easy to talk to. But he went ahead and gave you such an expensive storage ring. Could it be a trap? Little Black blinked its possessed eyes and said suspiciously. Yin Chujio pouted. TSK. He probably wants to exploit me entirely before taking back the ring. Even the heavenly lightning can't kill me. And he wants to kill me? Dream on. Just as Yin Chujio finished her sentence, the originally clear sky gradually darkened. Yin Chujio raised her head to look. Thick, dark clouds was gathering in the sky. The dark color looked very scary. And there were even faint rolling thunderbolts. Little Black, I'm afraid it's not going to be good this time. Go into the spirit beast pouch. I'm afraid that you won't be able to withstand the intensity this time. Yin Chujio faintly felt a trace of unease. This kind of perception of danger allowed her to avoid countless life and death situations in her previous life, so she trusted her intuition. Little Black also felt a sense of suffocation, and obediently hid in the spirit beast pouch. Yin Chujio also put the rolling pin and a few defensive spirit tools into her storage ring. She was afraid that the heavenly lightning this time would be too overbearing and hurt innocent people. So she ran into the depths of the back mountain. Master Xianyuan and the others naturally realized this phenomenon. Master, a large amount of dark clouds have gathered at the back mountain of Middle Peak. There are faint traces of lightning within. I'm afraid that the heavens can no longer tolerate Yin Chujio. Master Xianyuan was on a fence. Should he save her or not? If he did not save her, he would have to just watch as Yin Chujio was killed by the heavens. He really could not bear it. He had to save her. How could the strength of a mortal withstand the power of the heavenly lightning? Master Xianyuan thought for a moment with a serious expression, then said, Everyone wait here. I'll go and check on Yin Chujio's situation. If anything happens to me, you'll choose a new sect master according to the sect's tradition. Sect master? No. Everyone immediately stopped Master Xianyuan when they heard him say this. Sect master, you're the sect master. How can you put yourself in danger? Yin Chujio is from my middle peak. I'll go. Peak master, you summoned his spirit sword and was about to ride it to the back of Middle Peak. Elder Chi said loudly, Peak master, you stop. I'll go. My spiritual sense has long been damaged, and it will only be a matter of a few years. Why don't I do something for the sect? Elder Duanmu shouted loudly, Everyone stop. Listen to me. Don't interfere in this matter. How can you and I bear the power of the heavens? This matter can only be borne by Yin Chujio herself. Even if we helped her to endure this time, every advancement in the future will be punished by the heavens. Can we help her to endure that? If she can endure it, it'll be her good fortune. If she can't, it'll also be her fate. When everyone heard Elder Duanmu's words, they remained silent. He's right. Even if we help Yin Chujio this time, what about the next time? What about the following events? If we want to grow, we have to go through trials and tribulations. Yin Chujio, will you defeat the heavens and fate? Chapter 255. You are destroying the ecological balance. Notify everyone that they aren't allowed to go near Middle Peak's back mountain. Those who violate the sect rules will be punished. Also, notify the people from the Middle Peak's kitchen to immediately stay away from the back mountain. Also, strengthen the patrols around the sect to prevent other forces from probing. After Master Xianyuan thought it through, he immediately ordered, Go! The disciples of Spirit Radiance sect had also sensed an unusual aura. Even some of the disciples with low spiritual power felt a little breathless. What on earth was going on? If it was a cloudy day, why were there only such thick dark clouds gathered behind Middle Peak? Why was the sect forbidding them from approaching the back area? Yin Chu and the others did not see Yin Chujio. They ran to Yin Chujio's dormitory to look for her. When they saw that she was not in her dormitory, They thought that she had gone to Elder Chi's place. Only then did they retreat to a safe area with ease. After a quarter of an hour, several purple heavenly lightning bolts began to fall from the clouds. One after another. The booming sound was deafening. It was the first time that everyone had seen such a marvelous scene. Interesting. Do you think that these heavenly lightning bolts are striking something? It shouldn't be, right? Even if a mighty figure ascends to the heavenly tribulation, there should only be 9 heavenly lightning bolts, right? I think there has been more than 30 heavenly lightning bolts. With such a dense amount of heavenly lightning bolts, the back of the mountains probably has hold in it already. Then what's going on? Why would such a dense amount of heavenly lightning descend for no reason? Who knows? Let's just watch the show. No matter what happens, it has nothing to do with us little shrimps. Unlike the idle masses, Master Xianyuan and the others were extremely worried. Could Yin Chujio withstand such a dense amount of heavenly lightning? The purple heavenly lightning was comparable to the lightning of tribulation. If it was anyone else, they would not even be able to withstand 7 bolts. What was more, a dozen bolts. It seemed that the heavens had given up on killing Yin Chujio, this heaven-defying existence. Everyone could not help but sigh. Who would have thought that the most useless Yin Chujio actually had the most heaven-defying heavenly lightning root spirit? However, would Yin Chujio be able to survive? At that moment, Yin Chujio was like a rabbit being chased by a dog at the back of the mountain, constantly shuttling through the forest. Those purple lightning bolts continuously struck the trees, and the low-level demon beasts there ran down the mountain like crazy. Yin Chujio dodged while cursing. You damned little loaches, you're destroying the ecological balance. Do you understand? You've already cut down the trees. How are these little creatures going to survive in the future? You're really heartless. I'm embarrassed for you. Shameless. I'm talking about you guys. It's fine if you chop me up for no reason, but why do you always come to gang up on me? If you have the ability, fight me one-on-one. Do you think I'm afraid of you? I've eaten too much, so I'm just going to play with you guys. Since you're rushing to your death, then come. I'll wait for you. Yin Chujio was a typical loser who could not lose. Even though she was hiding in an extremely sorry state, her mouth was not idle. She annoyed the dark clouds in the sky. Strike! Strike with all your might. The clouds will not disappear until the scourge was rid of. An hour later, Yin Chujio found that the forest had been hacked into charcoal, and she could not run anymore. The dark clouds in the sky twisted a few times proudly, and the purple lightning struck down even more densely. Yin Chujio rolled her eyes. For now, she could only rely on the strange grass in her dantian. It was not her time yet, so she could not choke on her farts. Therefore, Yin Chujio ran as she communicated with the strange grass in her dantian. Chapter 256 was like a balloon. Yin Chujio talked to the strange grass in her dantian. Go Weiba, this is a great opportunity. Save up all the dense heavenly lightning. After I survive this round, I'll advance to the 6th level of spirit enhancement. When the time comes, I'll refine even more advanced medicinal pills for you. Go Weiba, we're now on the same boat. My host's body is choking on its farts, and you won't live either, so you better buck up. Go Weiba, I see that you're usually pretty awesome. Don't tell me you can't even deal with these little purple loaches? The strange grass in her dantian shook violently, probably conveying that it looked down on the purple heavenly lightning bolts. Yin Chujio instantly felt a lot more at ease. Although the strange grass was a ticking time bomb, it would at least protect her before trying to fatten her up with nourishment. Yin Chujio felt confident in her heart, and she immediately started showing off. Hey, I'm tired from running, so I'm just going to sit here. If you have the ability, then strike me. If you don't dare to do so, then you're a bastard. As Yin Chujio said that, she actually sat cross-legged on the ground, looking as if she was ready to be struck by lightning. The dark clouds in the sky began to churn violently. Several purple bolts of lightning gathered into 5 huge bolts of lightning as thick as a wrist, and struck down violently at Yin Chujio. Yin Chujio could not help but feel her scalp go numb. In the past, one such bolt of lightning could strike her no problem. However, With these 5 bolts of lightning, she definitely would have to get her hair messy. If other people knew what Yin Chujio was thinking at that moment, they would definitely be angered to death. At that point in time, she was still thinking about her hair. The most important thing right then was to save her life. Alright? The 5 huge bolts of lightning were like 5 purple lightning dragons, ferociously pouncing toward Yin Chujio. Yin Chujio made up her mind. At most she would die. Perhaps with this strike, she would have transmigrated again. This time, she had to arrange a good family for her. If she was not going to be a princess, then at least let her date one. Just as Yin Chujio's thoughts were running wild, 5 bolts of lightning had already struck her. Yin Chujio could not help but let out a miserable cry. Fuck. It hurt so much. Her body seemed as though it was about to explode. All her limbs and bones were occupied by the ferocious power of lightning. The power of lightning kept crashing into Yin Chujio's meridians. Yin Chujio's body was obviously rapidly expanding. At that moment, only Yin Chujio's brain was functioning. At that moment she thought miserably, it's over. I'm like a balloon now. When it reaches a certain level, I'm going to explode. Dead without a complete corpse. The dark clouds in the sky shook with pride. Little fellow, let's see how you'll stagger when going up against the heavenly lightning. I'll definitely strike you into ashes. Boom, boom, boom. The dark clouds continued to ceaselessly strike. Yin Chujio felt that she was going to be doomed this time. Although the strange grass in her dantian was trying its best to absorb the lightning in her body, it could not withstand the continuous lightning strikes from the dark clouds in the sky. Just as it absorbed a portion of it, a large amount of lightning power surged into her body. She was only flesh and blood. How could she withstand such violent lightning power? Master, let me out. I'll help you absorb some. Little Black shouted from inside the spiritual beast pouch. It's useless even if you come out, Little Black. It's different this time. Why should you sacrifice your little life? Besides, we signed an equal contract. If I die, you'll be free. Yin Chujio said with a bitter smile. I'm willing. Stop talking nonsense. Let me out quickly. Little Black kept banging its head against the spiritual beast pouch, as if it would kill itself if it was not let out. Chapter 257. Debeaming Stop. Yin Chujio was touched when she saw the little black bird's actions. Little Black, you're so kind. I won't bully you anymore. Every time I tricked you to go out for a walk, I was actually secretly eating good food. Little Black was stunned. Was it too late to regret? Such a heartless master. If it died, it died. So be it. After Little Black was released, the dark clouds immediately realized that this was another scourge. Several purple lightning bolts struck toward Little Black. After swallowing a few bolts, the little black bird could not take it anymore. After all, it was still a young bird. To be able to swallow a few bolts of lightning was already extremely heaven-defying. Little Black's feathers began to fall off quickly. If they fell off, it would not be able to resist the lightning at all. The rolling pin in the storage ring shouted anxiously, Master, let me out. I might be able to help you block it after I transform. Nonsense, after you transform. You're just a mortal weapon. These purple loaches can split you into pieces in an instant. Wait patiently. I won't die so easily. Yin Chujio said as she put Little Black into her spirit beast pouch. Master, why did you put me back? Let me out. Why would I let you out? To make you become a bald chicken? Don't worry, a scourge like me won't die. Although Yin Chujio's tone was light, the skin on her body started to bleed. Yin Chujio felt that her consciousness started to become a little blurry. She could not even feel the pain in her body anymore. She allowed the power of lightning in her body to continuously crash into her meridians. Why did the heavenly lightning not strike her again? Yin Chujio forced herself to focus. She saw a white figure standing in front of her. Both of his hands were continuously forming seals. Gigolo? Was she hallucinating? Yin Chujio bit her tongue. Her mind became clearer. When she took a closer look, she saw that it really was debeaming. Debeaming was continuously forming seals to resist the heavenly lightning that struck down on her. Yin Chujio still remembered the last time she was struck by heavenly lightning. Di Baiming kept dodging it comically. Was he stupid? He actually took the hit for her. Cough cough. Yin Chujio spat out a mouthful of blood and said weakly, "Gigolo, get lost. I can do it myself." Di Baiming did not stop forming seals and snorted coldly. "How dare you scold me, black thing? I won't forgive you. Your mortal body is still useful. Even the heavenly lightning can't take you away. Even if I'm dead, you can still drain blood from me. They're coming for me. Get lost." Yin Chujio did not know where her strength came from, but she struggled to stand up and ran a few steps to the side. Then she shouted to the sky, "Bastards, heavenly lightning! I'm here, strike me. If you don't, you're a coward." The heavenly lightning immediately changed its target and struck at Yin Chujio. Di Baiming gritted his teeth and rushed over. "Black thing, are you courting death?" Di Baiming blocked Yin Chujio behind him again and kept forming seals to resist the heavenly lightning. And Feng and An also rushed over at that time. The three of them protected Yin Chujio in the middle and dispersed most of the heavenly lightning. The power of the heavenly lightning was not something a human could resist. An and Feng were soon knocked out. Fortunately, the target of the heavenly lightning was clear. Seeing that the two of them had fainted, it did not bother with them anymore. Di Baiming's white clothes had been torn into wisps, and his hair had turned into charcoal. His hands were moving slower and slower, and blood began oozing out from his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. "Di Baiming, stop. I don't need you to care about me. Get lost." Yin Chujio shouted at the top of her lungs as blood and tears flowed from her eyes. Chapter 258. Even the heavens are not allowed to touch my person, cough cough. Black thing, shut up. Even the heavens are not allowed to touch my person. Di Baiming spat out a mouthful of blood, and then increased the speed of his seal formation. The dark clouds in the sky was also furious. Where did this idiot come from? He actually dares to help Yin Chujio fight against us? He's really courting death. Kill him. Although Di Baiming's spiritual power was superb, his spiritual power was suppressed in the Qingxian continent. Hence, he was already at the end of his rope at that moment. He was completely relying on his will to hold on. After another round of lightning strikes, Di Baiming spat out another mouthful of blood. His body started to shake, but his hands were still forming seals, protecting Yin Chujio behind the barrier. Yin Chujio jumped forward, and her palm landed on the back of Di Baiming's neck. Di Baiming was solely focused on holding off the heavenly lightning when Yin Chujio hit him. His body went limp, and he fell to the ground. Yin Chujio was a bloody person, as her body was covered in blood. She moved forward with difficulty, then straightened her body and laughed at the sky. "Strike me. You can continue to strike me. I'm here. Come strike me." When the heavenly thunder heard Yin Chujio's clamor, it immediately struck at Yin Chujio. Yin Chujio was initially standing, but soon sat on the ground before falling over. Even so, Yin Chujio continued to provoke the heavenly thunder. "You useless little loaches. So many bolts of lightning still can't kill me. You're really useless. Are you all old, weak, sick, and disabled? What a bunch of weaklings. If you have the ability, then just keep attacking me. Let's see who will have the last laugh. You weaklings." The reason why Yin Chujio was so arrogant was to attract all the heavenly lightning to her side. No matter what, she could not let the gigolo die because of her. The blood on Yin Chujio's body dyed the ground red. Yin Chujio felt that her life force was gradually dissipating. Was she really going to die this time? Yin Chujio's consciousness began to slip. Scenes from the past flashed in her mind. Her grandfather, who loved her deeply, her brother and sister who valued their family, and her gigolo who was hard-mouthed but soft-hearted. Seeing that, the dark clouds in the sky could not help but become even more arrogant. Bolts of lightning struck down one after another. "You heaven-defying scourge. You're dead for sure this time." Yin Chujio's eyes suddenly shone brightly. No, she could not die. She had not fulfilled her promise to protect the Yin family. She had not found her missing foster parents. She had not even asked her gigolo to kneel down and sing for her. Regardless of whether it was thunder or land mines, Yun Chujio would never yield. Yun Chujio suddenly sat up and began to meditate with her legs crossed. Since the thunder root spirit in her body wanted to push her to her death, then she would refine all of it. Let's see whether you'll kill me or I'll absorb you. Yun Chujio sealed all her 5 senses and completely immersed her consciousness in her meridians, constantly refining the violent thunder root spirit power in her body. The sky gradually darkened, but the thunder still had not ended. The rumbling sound was like heavy hammers hitting the hearts of Master Xianyuan and the others. It has been nearly 6 hours. The heavenly lightning hasn't ended yet. Does this mean that Yun Chujio is still alive? Elder Qi's voice trembled slightly. It must be so. Otherwise, the heavenly lightning would have dispersed long ago. Yun Chujio actually withstood the lightning strikes for 6 hours with the strength of a mortal. This is simply unbelievable. Elder Duanmu, logically speaking, shouldn't this heavenly tribulation gradually strengthen along with Yun Chujio's cultivation? Why is this heavenly tribulation so overbearing when Yun Chujio has just started cultivating? Master Xianyuan asked in puzzlement. This, I have no way of knowing. However, if she can endure it, her future is bound to be limitless. She'll definitely become a prodigy of Qingxian continent. Elder Duanmu said in a deep voice. Chapter 259 was getting livelier. Another 4 hours had passed, and the lightning strikes were still ongoing. Master Xianyuan and the others could not sit still and kept looking toward the back mountains of Middle Peak. It's been 10 hours. Even a mountain would be flattened by the lightning strikes. Besides, Yun Chujio is just a mortal. Could it be that we've made a mistake, and that these heavenly lightning bolts aren't actually going for her? Elder Shao said with a frown. There wouldn't be such a large-scale purple heavenly lightning storm other than to wipe out the heavenly root spirit. Even a mighty figure who's about to ascend can only withstand 9 heavenly lightning bolts. Even if a unique legendary practitioner was born, there would only be a few heavenly lightning bolts at most. Elder Duanmu said with certainty. But how did Yun Chujio withstand so many heavenly lightning bolts? This is too unbelievable. An elder asked in puzzlement. I'm also very curious. If this little girl really can endure it, I'll definitely ask her face to face. She has always been eccentric, so maybe she has some tricks up her sleeve. Elder Chu said while stroking his beard. Let's hope that she can endure it. Even 10 hours of heavenly lightning can't even kill her. Such tenacious willpower is rarely seen in this world. She'll definitely have extraordinary achievements in the future. Yeah, let's not talk about anything else. Her heavenly root spirit is set in stone. When the time comes, she will amaze the entire Qingxian continent. She might even become the youngest ascendant in the Qingxian continent. Just as Master Xianyuan and the others were discussing, Yun Chujio's location had already been hacked into a huge deep pit. In the center of the pit was Yun Chujio, who was meditating with her legs crossed. Not far away from her was the unconscious Beiming. Yun Chujio's body was undergoing a huge transformation. The tyrannical lightning spirit force in Yun Chujio's body was forcefully smoothed out by her divine sense and continuously flowed into her dantian. Another leaf grew out of the strange grass, and it was devouring the lightning energy that Yun Chujio smoothed out. Yun Chujio's meridians had been expanded to twice their original thickness, and they were getting stronger and stronger. Even if the lightning continued to pour in, they would not break. Finally, most of the lightning that Yun Chujio had accumulated in her body had been devoured by the strange grass. Yun Chujio suddenly opened her eyes. If someone saw Yun Chujio's eyes then, they would definitely be shocked. This was because Yun Chujio's eyes were filled with purple lightning. After a moment, Yun Chujio's eyes returned to normal. She stood up, looked up at the sky, and smiled brightly. Little Loach, I survived. If you have any other abilities, just come at me. I still have to thank you. If you didn't rush to your death, how could I cultivate so quickly? Come on. Continue to strike me. Come on. Don't strike me one by one. You guys are still gathered together. I'll take care of you together. If you don't strike me, then you admit that you're just shameless bastards. The dark clouds in the sky was dumbfounded. What was going on? Was this scourge not about to be struck to death a couple moments ago? Why was she still alive and kicking? Strike! Strike! Strike her to death! Streaks of purple heavenly lightning struck toward Yin Chujio once again. Not only was Yin Chujio not struck to death, she was even giggling. Good strike, good strike, good strike. I'm laughing out loud. You're thinking that my cultivation speed is a little slow. So you want to lend me a hand, right? You guys are really good at helping others. The dark clouds in the sky were getting increasingly disheartened as they struck her. The more they struck, the more hopeless they felt. Oh heavens, oh earth! Who can tell me why is this scourge getting livelier? The dark clouds was finally so angry that it rained heavily before drifting away with a look of despair. When Yin Chujio saw that the dark clouds had finally drifted away, she let out a long sigh. Then, she turned her head to look at Di Biming beside her. Then her nose started to bleed. Chapter 260. Ugh, how dizzying! Di Biming's clothes were all turned into rags by the lightning. Yin Chujio, the small perverted wolf, immediately had a nosebleed when she saw that. Yin Chujio was really big-hearted. Even after going through such a monumental transformation, she was still lustful enough to have the intention to take advantage of Di Biming. She stretched out her perverted claws and wanted to pull away the rags that were in her way. At that moment, Di Biming opened his eyes, and the poor Supreme Emperor's nose starting bleeding. Yin Chujio saw that Di Biming had woken up, so she sheepishly retracted her claws and said, "Prince Charming, you're awake? I was just about to help you up." Di Biming's face turned red, and he quickly closed his eyes and said, "Why don't you have your clothes on? You're akin to a black bean sprout, and you're actually trying to seduce me." Yin Chujio was stunned. Then, she looked down and was doubly stunned. She was worse than a gigolo. Yin Chujio quickly took out a set of clothes from her storage ring and put them on hurriedly. When she turned around, she saw Di Biming trying to put his clothes on with his mouth and teeth, because his hands and feet were stiff. They were not cooperating at all. When he saw Yin Chujio looking at him, he became even more anxious. In the end, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Di Biming did not have Yin Chujio's weirdly extraordinary body. Previously, he had completely exhausted his spiritual power and suffered serious internal injuries. It was good enough that he could preserve his life. How could he be as lively as Yin Chujio? Di Biming took out a porcelain bottle from his storage ring. Yin Chujio helped to pour out a few pills and stuffed them into Di Biming's mouth. Di Biming swallowed the pills. Although he no longer spat out blood, his hands and feet still were not responding. Yin Chujio saw the situation and immediately smiled with ill intentions. She began to admire the handsome man openly. Di Biming's head had been zapped bald by the heavenly lightning. However, not only was it not ugly, but it also added a mysterious aura. Looking at it made Yin Chujio's claws itch. Di Biming's face turned red. "Black thing, turn around for me." Yin Chujio pouted. Although she turned her body around, she angled her head back and stared at Di Biming lecherously. "Turn your head around too." Di Biming was so angry that he gritted his teeth. The black thing was really shameless. Yin Chujio shrugged her shoulders and said lightly, "Prince Charming, don't blame me for not reminding you. In a while, Master Xianyuan and the others will come. Do you want those old men to admire your strong body?" Di Biming's face stiffened, and he gritted his teeth. "Black thing, come and help me put on my clothes." Yin Chujio turned around and hugged her shoulders. She shook her legs and said, "I'll reluctantly help you put on your clothes. However, don't you think we should talk about the cost? As the saying goes, brothers always settle their debts. This is one thing, so you can't let me work for free, right?" Di Biming was so angry that he almost spat out another mouthful of blood. He gritted his teeth and said, "How much do you want?" "You know my price. It's 2,000 spirit stones. I think your clothes are quite complicated. I'll give you a set price of 10,000 spirit stones. How about it? Isn't it expensive?" Yin Chujio said with a smile. "Deal." Di Biming was so angry that the veins on his forehead popped up. "Black thing, just you wait, I won't forgive you." Yin Chuzhou quickly helped Di Biming put it on. Of course, during the process of putting it on, she could not help but take advantage of him, and said a few flirtatious words. The miserable lord fainted once again. Yes, he fainted from anger. Chapter 261. Chopping board. Yin Chuzhou was stunned. The gigolo was so easily abashed. I didn't say anything controversial. What a shy and innocent young man. Yin Chuzhou looked up. She still did not know how to ride a sword, so how was she going to fly up? She could only wait for Master Xin Yuan and the others to come and save her. If they asked the pretty boy and the others about their identities, how was she going to explain it? The rolling pin said from inside the storage ring. Master, I'll take you guys out of this hole. Yin Chuzhou took out the rolling pin doubtfully. Then, she asked with a confused look, how are you going to do that? You want me to carry the gigolo and stand on you with 1 feet? The rolling pin quickly became longer and wider. Then it said proudly, Master, after your spiritual power increased, I advanced too. I can now become big. The corner of Yin Chuzhou's eyes twitched. Well, it was an upgrade. The rolling pin had become a large chopping board. Yin Chuzhou did not have the time to complain. She carried Di Biming on her shoulder, and then stood on the chopping board. The rolling pin swayed and flew up. Soon, it flew to the top of the deep pit. When Master Xin Yuan and the others arrived and saw the scene below, Yin Chuzhou had a bald head and a bald man on her shoulder. She stood on a chopping board and emerged from the ground. Yin Chuzhou bared her white teeth at everyone. Master Xin Yuan, this is a natural disaster, not a man-made disaster. You won't make me pay for it, right? The corners of everyone's mouths twitched. They never thought that Yin Chuzhou's first sentence would be this. Master Xin Yuan coughed dryly. Of course I won't make you compensate me. Who are you carrying on your shoulders? This is my savior. I don't know him either. You can ask him when he wakes up later. Yin Chuzhou said with a confused look. She wondered to herself where Feng and Anin were. When everyone heard this, they immediately made up their minds. No wonder Yin Chuzhou could endure the heavenly lightning for 10 hours. It turned out that she had the help of an expert. Elder Chu looked curiously at the chopping board under Yin Chuzhou's feet. Little girl. What is this? Yin Chuzhou was amused. Remember the rolling pin that my master gave me? Once my spiritual power leveled up, it becomes more capable too. Yin Chuzhou yawned. Sect Master, I'm hungry and tired now. Can we talk about this tomorrow? Besides, I have an injured person here. Master Xin Yuan nodded. Leave him to me. I'll bring him back for treatment. Yin Chuzhou shook her head. Before this benefactor fainted, he told me to guard him at all times. He saved my life, so I naturally can't go against his will. Just give me a couple bottles of good medicinal pills to treat his internal injuries. The corners of Master Zuanyuan's eyes twitched slightly. He took out a porcelain bottle from his storage ring. This is a 6th grade muscle revitalization pill. It has a miraculous effect on internal injuries. Take it. Yin Chuzhou took the porcelain bottle and put it in her pocket. Then, she carried Di Biming and flew away on the chopping board. Everyone looked at Yin Chuzhou's back with a dumbfounded expression. They were all riding swords, alright? This Yin Chuzhou was riding a chopping board. Everyone naturally gossiped for a while. However, after the person in question left, everyone started leaving too. They were planning to ask about Yin Chuzhou's situation in detail the next day. Yin Chuzhou had just carried Di Biming to the dormitory when Feng and Anin appeared from the shadows. When Yin Chuzhou saw their appearances, she almost fell off the chopping board. Well, those two were also bald. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.